A lot of you may think as of late, especially those in the manosphere, that I've become unsympathetic of your concern, of your discontent, and of your issues that you may have when it comes to dealing with particularly the opposite gender. I get it. What I've been saying as of late has been more direct and more blunt, but I'll be honest. Looking at the stats that I have so far on this channel, do you blame me? And second, I've always have had a message of doing the most effective thing in order to change your life. I didn't get to where I am right now, and to be honest, I still have a bit of a way to go. But I didn't get to as far as I have in life, focusing on women who don't respect me or people who don't respect me in general. I come from a place where I was not highly regarded at all, just like a lot of you. I come from a place where the majority of the women saw me as either irrelevant or a beta bucks or a eunuch. I came from a place, just like a lot of you, where I was seen as quote-unquote non-select, corny, or an educated lame. You think I don't sympathize with a lot of you out there who are complaining in and out every single day, but try to mask it under the argument or the debate of, oh, you're just trying to save the community? You're just trying to save the sisters? Granted, these guys, a year ago, hell, in some cases, not even that long, were the same ones who were saying that the community was lost, that the Dago wasn't worth it, that you should just seek better pastures wherever you can. Well, you know what I say about a lot of these guys and their ability to do just that. But nonetheless, I think a lot of you don't realize how I operate, how I think, what my perspective is. And my perspective is that, not necessarily of rage, nor debate, and definitely not of crying and complaining about women who don't respect you, who may have never respected you, and probably never will respect you. The way I operate, quite frankly, is a way that reflects more or less a quiet storm. A storm that isn't as evident as a lot of people in the manosphere show their storm, in a sense. I see how a lot of you go off and go out and try to rationalize and intellectualize your discontent or your lack of luck or your luck that ran out when it came to these females. I know the guys I'm talking to, the little guys who, yeah, you may have had some sort of luck in the community at one point. You may have been the head honcho, but either you screwed up somewhere or you just fell asleep behind the wheel and you got caught in the crossfire. You got caught up in the crossfire. Crossfire. Yeah, that crossfire. And I'm not going to go into examples, much less gloat about it, but I see where a lot of this goes around. I see what the manosphere is made of. And quite frankly, the majority of it, at least on the male side, consists of the guys who never got their shot or got a fair shot, at least according to them, or the guys who got their shot but were for some reason had some sort of cataclysmic ending to their reign. Well, the way I go about things is this. Do you think I don't remember how I was targeted by the community, how I was abandoned by the community, and how I was seen as less than by the community? I was deemed as an individual who was beyond redemption at one point. I was definitely treated as such by not just the women's, but my so-called fellow men. Yeah, I don't even care if they're teenagers. I'm calling them men at the point because, the boys will be boys thing. As much as I've seen non-black men deal with each other when it comes to loyalty, see, a lot of non-black boys or just kids outside the community, they at least have a code. Hell, they have a code more, I'm not even going to say in comparison to baby's kids, mediocre Negroes in the community. I'm going to compare their code, boys' code, to their equivalent men. The men in the dominant society. Hell, these boys have a code similar to what you saw on that lovable TV show, The Little Rascals. If you want to see how boys really operate, well-adjusted boys, boys who were raised by their fathers. These guys more or less acted like kids from The Little Rascals. Yeah, they had their little squabbles and disagreements, but in the end, they came together for an objective, and 9 times out of 10, they got the objective done, while following the code and not breaking it in order to achieve it. And if one of them did break it, the other ones would check that kid. But the code I see here amongst grown-ass men today, and I'm talking about those who are on the educated side, or the select side, or the manosphere, or whatever side you're on, it's atrocious to say the very least. And with all that, I'm just seeing a bunch of whiners. Yes, I'm saying that, a bunch of whiners and complainers. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be angry at the cards that you were dealt in life, but how you operate with that anger and how you harness that anger will make all the difference in the results that you see. A lot of what you all do, quite frankly, is just wasted energy. But in the case of the Quiet Storm, here's how I operate. Oh, I get up every single day. Well, maybe not get up, but there isn't a day that goes by where I don't recall what I dealt with in the former rotten corpse of the so-called black community. I remember it quite vividly. Scars like that don't heal fast, if they heal at all. No matter what I do, those memories will likely be there for the rest of my life. And I'm not saying I was perfect neither, but I'm sorry if wanting a better life for myself and realizing the crap that we all were in was punishable by being socially ostracized. I'm sorry, community, for realizing that. And no, I don't apologize for any action I did that made me look pompous or bougie or stuck up. Because I realized that the life that all of us were living was not the life that we should have had. We should have had a lot better. I expected a lot better. But lo and behold, our so-called elders decided to do half the job at best, and dare tell us that we needed to work twice as hard to get half as much. That's just one of the examples of what fuels my quiet storm. But how do I harness it? Well, it's simple. You don't say anything, and you don't do anything in regards of getting the vengeance against those you felt wronged you. Hell, you don't even do anything to try to gain any sort of subtle vengeance or verbal vengeance like a lot of you all have made this manosphere into. Basically just a verbal vengeance layer. That's what this is. It's basically an echo chamber of guys who are trying to get some sort of vengeance on something that happened to them or didn't happen to them or didn't happen for them when they were young and probably dumb, and given what they were full of, would probably have made the same mistake as the guys who seem to have benefited. I get it. You have a right to be angry over what happened to you. And I'm not just talking about what the girls did in middle and high school. I'm talking specifically those who were older than you did to you. I'm speaking more or less on how you can get back on those who should have done for you and should have provided for you when you weren't able to provide for yourself, or when you were barely able to provide for yourself as a preteen or a teenager. Those individuals should have known better. Those individuals should have given you a path in order to succeed. Those individuals should have helped you deal with unruly women, or better yet, those individuals should have made those unruly women, quote unquote, with their female nature. How about program their female nature to be more cordial to productive men? I completely agree in the assessment that people like MOT and others make when it comes to inexperienced men not having to deal with uncouth women. And hell, I completely agree with individuals like Obsidian and his discontent of the BFF, as we like to call it in these spaces. But the way we respond to it shouldn't be the way of showing the opposition that you're getting to their skin. Because if nothing else, all this rage, all this yelling and bickering, or even rational, pragmatic debating, even that shows that you have allowed the opposition and those you felt wrong you to get under your skin. That isn't strategy. That isn't tactic. I'm sure something I said is somewhere among the 48 laws of power. I'm not sure which one it is because I haven't read the book yet. But my strategy is this. You take that fuel that you have. You take that anger that you have. Take that storm you have inside you. And every day you bust your ass. You bust your ass in whatever you do. You bust your ass in however you live. Whatever job you have, whatever skill you have, whatever trade you have, make it better. Whatever you can do in order to provide for yourself, do it. Whatever kind of self-improvement that you can initiate, don't half-ass it. Basically, just don't be like your so-called elders and just half-assing whatever they did, because we saw how much that helped them and helped us. Also, don't let the opposition see you sweat. That's an important thing that I've learned throughout my life. The worst thing that the opposition can see, other than you failing, is you allowing them to live in your head rent-free. And allowing that to happen is very costly. I know we haven't seen it here in the manosphere yet. Actually, we probably have. And we've also seen how a lot of these individuals who are tough in the red pill talk, in reality, can't walk the walk. So be careful also of some of these guys who might just be outright frauds and are trying to use this as a way to get validated by the same females that they were curved by in real life. Those guys are just finished. But for everyone else out there, just use that fuel inside you, that storm that you can't get rid of, in order to make yourself so sufficient and so efficient and so essential that you never have to rely on those same group of individuals who saw you as less than, who saw you as non-essential, who saw you as a beta male provider, an educated you know what. Never allow yourself to be in that position for as long as you live. And if you take the energy that you would have rage against women, the rage against these so-called bitches and hoes, which I'm not going to lie to you, a lot of them, okay, you're right, cool, you're right, a lot of them are bitches and hoes. I'm not going to argue there. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? And everyone else out there, always bet on X.